young learners from classes 5th to ninth according to the curriculum of CBSE. So let's get started. First of all, what is story writing? Now, story writing is a creative piece of writing where you let your imagination free. It is an art, a skill that perfects itself over time. So that means you cannot learn to write a story just in one day or maybe not even in 1 month. So it is over time. You perfect yourself over time. So what are we going to discuss is basically story writing according to the curriculum of CBSE. So what CBSE wants. How you can write a good story which has all the components woven together in an interesting way. So this is what we are going to do. How to write a good story according to the requirements of CBSE, which has all the components woven together in an interesting way. So again, story writing, it is not everybody's cup of tea, but we can always learn. So let's get started. Now, what is in your syllabus? Now, here I am talking about class 9th. The junior classes, obviously, the guidelines for the junior classes are going to be the same. Now, the CBSE pattern for class 9th, it is a section B. It is the writing skills and contextual grammar. So, it is of 30 marks. And question number 3 is writing an informal letter on a situation or a descriptive paragraph based on person, place, event, diary, entry in about 150 to 200 words based on visual or verbal cues. This is going to be of 10 marks. Then fourth question is writing a story based on a given outline or cues in about 150 to 200 words. This is again of 10 marks. Now this is the actual curriculum and the syllabus, but due to COVID-19, the syllabus, it has been revised, it has been rationalized. Now for this year, the descriptive paragraph, it will be based on only a person, a diary entry based on visual or verbal cues. So other things like descriptive paragraph based on an event, etc., they had been deleted. So one out of the two questions, and it is of 5 marks now. Previously, it was of 10 marks, now it is of 5 marks, and this is only for this year. Then writing a story, the word limit, it has been reduced. It will be of 100 to 120 words, again 5 marks. So now we'll be concentrating on both. I'll show you an example for 10 marks also and for 5 marks also. Now the videos on descriptive paragraphs. So these are 4 videos based on the descriptive paragraph which I have already uploaded. So you can go and watch these videos and you can learn the art of writing a descriptive paragraph. This video, it has tips and trips, and this video, it is based on the Postman. This one is for On My Neighbor, and this one, it is based on a famous personality, a sports person or a celebrity. So this is on based on MS Dhoni. So you can watch these videos and learn how to write a descriptive paragraph. Now we come to the marking scheme of writing a story. So in case the story is of 10 marks, title will be a 1 mark, content of 4 marks, and expression of 5 marks. But since now this year, the story is going to be of 5 marks, so title, it will be either a 1 mark or half mark, and then content 2 or 2.5 according to the marks that are given to the title, and then expression is of 2 marks. So this is the division of marks for this year. Now what should title have? Now title, it should be catchy. It can be a phrase, a proverb, a saying. It can be a question. And the most important thing is it should be attention grabbing. Then comes content. In content, you should have all the components of writing a story. There should be setting, plot, characters, conflict, climax, and resolution. So what are these that I'll be discussing later on? Then comes expression. Now in expression, what is going to be checked? Coherence and relevance of ideas, the accuracy, proper vocabulary, correct spellings. So all these things are going to be checked in your expression. That means that story, it is progressing in a logical way. It's not abrupt. Then spellings are correct, important or appropriate vocabulary, words they are used. So all these things, they will be checked in expression. Now few examples of titles. So titles, as I said, they should be catchy, attention grabbing. So like the red mango. So obviously everyone knows that mango is yellow, not red. So it grabs the attention. Like, what, a red mango? Then who was behind the door? So it can be a question. Soccer and cricket. So now soccer and cricket, these are the names of games, but in your story, maybe these are the names of your character. You never know. Then beware, the great fall, the dancing demon, a leopard can't change its spots. So this is a wise saying. So you can have titles like this, attractive and catchy titles. Now important elements of a story. So first is setting. Now what should a setting have? Now setting means that where your story is happening. It can be any place. It can be a garden, a school, mall, forest, any other place. It can be even your room, your home. So that is setting. Then comes characters. So characters are, they can be people, animals, fairies, wizards, aliens, and you yourself of course can be in your story. So the characters. Sometimes the beginning line or the cues that are given, in that there a few characters are already given. So you can add one or two characters to make up your story. Then comes plot. Now, plot is a series of events that are happening in your story, the action that is taking place. So, totality of all the things that are happening, that makes the plot. Conflict. Conflict is very important because without conflict, your story, it will become monotonous. It will become boring, and nobody would like to read a boring story. So, conflict is a problem that you pose in front of the character in your story. So, that problem, it can be physical, it can be emotional, psychological, any external factor, or maybe nature is at its work in your story. It can be any accident, anything. So, if nature is at its works, like maybe there's a flood or there's a storm or a physical or emotional, maybe your character is very greedy, your character is selfish. So, all these are conflicts. Or the character meets with an accident, the character falls down and he fractures his leg. So, all these things, they are conflicts, a problem that is created in front of the character. After that, we come to climax. So, climax is when the conflict, it reaches its peak, and from that point, then the solution of the conflict begins. So, that is climax. So, you are building your conflict, you've created a problem, and now you are informing the reader that how big that problem is. So you are building that conflict, but at one point, then you begin with the resolution. So from that point, that is called climax, and from there, resolution or the solution begins. And then in the end, everything is solved. So all is well that ends well. So it will end your story. Again, the end, it is your choice. It can be happy or it can be sad. So it's your story, the way you want to end it. So these are the important elements of a story, and you should keep all these in mind while you begin to write your story. Now, this is a question that I've taken from CBSE previous year question papers for class 10th 2016 outside Delhi term 2 set 1. So I've picked this line from there because I wanted to have an original question so that you get an idea what kind of questions they come. Now this is for class 10th because previously class 10th also has story writing, or on similar lines class 9th is also going to have the clues or the beginning of the story. So the question is, a boy was playing in the park. He saw a small sparrow sitting on a stone. He went near it. Still, it didn't fly. So after this, you have to continue with the story. So, first thing is to analyze what is already given in the line. Now, sometimes it is written in the question that the beginning of the line is given and you have to continue from there. Now, in case it's written that the beginning line is given, so your story should have that beginning line only. But if it is written that the following clues are there or following cues are there and you have to write a story, then you can write those cues anywhere in your story. You can begin in your own way. So I'm using this as the beginning line. Now here, let's first see what is the setting. Now from this, it is clear a boy is playing in the park. So the setting of the story, it is going to be the park. Now initially it's going to be the park. After that, the boy or your character can move somewhere else, then the setting obviously will change. So from the line, we come to know that the setting is the park. Now after that, characters. So as we read, so he saw a small sparrow. So we have a sparrow, and obviously we have a boy so who saw that sparrow. So there's a boy, and this boy saw that sparrow there. Now he went near it, still it didn't fly. So the plot. So beginning of the plot that is given. So there's a sparrow sitting on the stone. The boy went near the sparrow, but the sparrow did not fly. So now what happened after that? So the beginning of the plot, beginning of action, it is already given and we have to take forward the action from here. Now, how to do that? Because suddenly there'll be a lot of things coming in your mind and you'll want to jot down all those things, but you have to remember the word limit. For 10 marks, the word limit is 150 to 200 words, and for 5 marks, that is this year, it's going to be a 5-mark question. So the word limit is 100 to 120 words. So how to do that now? So this is one way. You can make a flow chart. Now, how to make a flow chart? Now here, in the beginning line, it's given that the boy was in the park. So he sees a sparrow there. So in the park, so he picked the ball. So now you are beginning that the boy was in the park. When he picked the ball, that means the boy was playing. So you have to jot down in simple words that how your storyline is going to work out. So pick the ball in the park. Then next you follow that there was a sparrow, the sparrow did not fly, so the boy took the sparrow. So this is your next line of action. After that, answered Saurabh, the bully back. So you have introduced another character. So you've thought that there should be another character in your story, so you are bringing Saurabh in. Now here you also tell that Saurabh is a bully. So you have created a conflict also. So Saurabh is a bully and your character, that is the boy, answered the bully back. Now after that, what happens? So since they are in the park, so he picked the ball, so maybe they are playing cricket. So hit sixes and confused. So there's confusion, he hits sixes, there's a bully. So now after that what happens? There's maths test, but your character hates maths. So he is bored. He keeps the sparrow in front. So he keeps the sparrow in front. Where he keeps, so as you write the story that you will be telling, so you are building your plot, and then what happens? Suddenly he solves every question with ease. And then the solution of whatever the conflict has arisen is that he finds his lucky charm. So this is the flow chart. Whatever you are having in your mind, how you want the plot to develop. So you can just think and you can make this flowchart. Now here, what actually I had in my mind is that I want to make the story in a way that the boy actually, in the end, he finds his lucky charm. So the sparrow actually becomes his lucky charm. So that sparrow is not actually a real sparrow, so it is maybe a toy. So that is why I developed the storyline like this. Now, how using this flowchart, you have to write the story. Let's see that now. So this is the story for 10 marks. That means it is 150 to 200 words. So the words here it is 187 words. So we begin with the line that was already given. So the title of my story is My Lucky Charm. So a boy was playing in the park. He saw a small sparrow sitting on a stone. He went near it, still it didn't fly. He picked the ball. Now let me have this pointer. Yes. So he picked the ball that had rolled near it. He turned, but without realizing, picked the sparrow. Rahul, someone shouted. It was Saurabh, the bully. You can't even bring a ball. Give me the ball now. It's my turn, he commanded. Rahul held the ball tightly in his hand and said firmly, It is my turn now. All gaped at the submissive Rahul. He himself looked perplexed as he hit six after six. Back home, he told this to his elder sister, who ignored it. Rahul felt something has changed. The next day was his mathematics test. Oh, maths! He sighed and sat down to prepare for his test. Like every time, maths bored him. He kept the sparrow on his table and started to solve sums again. Amazingly, he got all the answers correct, Astonished at his performance, he sat thinking. Then he ran to his sister shouting, "I've found my lucky charm." Panting, he added, "Look, your story has come true." So, like this, the story ends. So, now in this story, whatever you have written in the flowchart, so according to that, you have been able to build a story. So, in the end, when Rahul says that, "Look, your story has come true," so it means that the sister, the elder sister, maybe she has been telling Rahul stories, bedtime stories, maybe. So, one story out of the stories that she used to tell him, it was about the lucky charm, about having a lucky charm and how lucky charm can change your luck. So therefore, Rahul, when he picks up that sparrow, he finds that he is not at all submissive in front of the bully. He is able to hit 6 after 6. He is playing very well, and in maths test also he scores well. So he is able to solve all the sums. So he connects this to to his finding of the sparrow, and thus he says at the end that your story has come true. So this is one way to write a story. Now, how to cut short this story so that it becomes a 5-mark story within the word limit of 100 to 120 words. Now, this story, it is little beyond 120 words. So a boy was playing in the park. He saw a small sparrow sitting on a stone. He went near it, still it didn't fly. So obviously you cannot change the line that is already given. So he picked the ball that had rolled near it. He turned, but without realizing, picked the sparrow. "Rahul," shouted someone. It was Saurabh, the bully. "Give the ball now." "It is my turn," he commanded. Rahul said firmly, "It is my turn now." All gaped at the submissive Rahul. He himself looked perplexed as he hit 6 after 6. Rahul felt something has changed. Back home, he had to prepare for his maths test, but maths bored him. He kept the sparrow on his table and started to solve sums. Amazingly, he got all the answers correct. Astonished at his performance, he sat thinking. Grabbing the sparrow, he ran to his sister shouting, "I found my lucky charm. Look, your story has come true." So again, this is the same story, but I have even shortened the story. So now again, it is making everything clear. Everything is according to the flow chart, and you are able to judge that what is happening in the story. Now, when you are writing short stories, certain things you have to leave to the readers. They can understand those things on their own. So certain things, they are not to be mentioned. You can miss those because you don't have the space or the words. So that is why few things you can leave for the readers to imagine themselves. So this is the story, and in the flowchart, when you are making a flowchart, do not write more than 10 points. So if you go beyond 10, then there will be a chance that your story, it goes out of word limit. So just make 10 points, and then you will be able to jot down those points in your story and in an interesting way. So this is one way to write a story. Now in this story, let's see where is the climax, then what are the characters. So let's give it another reading. So this beginning line, it's already given and I've discussed it. So he picked the ball that rolled near it. He turned, but without realizing, picked the sparrow. So this is the next action happening in the story. So Rahul, someone shouted. It was Saurabh. So our second character is introduced. So he says, "Give the ball now, it's my turn," he commanded. Rahul said firmly, "It is my turn now." All gaped at the submissive Rahul. He himself looked perplexed as he hit 6 after 6. So he is perplexed here. So let me underline these points. Sorry. So he is perplexed. Perplexed means he is confused. So he is confused that how he is able to hit 6 after 6. Now when we are writing that he himself looked perplexed as he hit 6 after 6, so obviously it means that he was not a good player. So that is why he was confused that how he is able to hit 6 after 6. So Rahul felt something has changed. So here something has changed, and this something, it is creating a conflict, that what has changed. So he goes back home to prepare the maths test. So maths bored him. So that is the second problem in front of him. So maths bores him. So he kept the sparrow on the table and then he started to solve sums, and amazingly he got all the answers correct. So at this point the solution sets in. So a resolution has started. So he is able to solve all the problems and he takes no time in doing it. So he is astonished. So therefore he himself is astonished at his performance, and he sat thinking. And then he realized that what changed, or what had changed that day. So grabbing the sparrow, he ran to his sister shouting, "I found my lucky charm. So look, your story has come true." So like this, your story ends on a happy note. So I hope that everything is clear and you will be able to write a interesting story in your exams if you follow all these steps. So it's not at all very difficult. The only thing is that you should remember what are the components and how to make a flow chart so that you don't increase in your word limit. And one thing more, students when they write stories, so they join all the sentences or the next action that is happening in the story by writing then. So then Rahul said firmly, then after that, then he himself looked perplexed, or then he went back home. So don't write then in the beginning of every sentence. So like this you can make your sentences and you can change the way you write sentences. So these are the image credits, and that's all for today. Share the video with your friends. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can have a look at other videos. The descriptive paragraph videos, I've already told you that they are already uploaded on my channel. I'll be giving the links in the description box, and give a thumbs up to this video. You can follow me on Instagram so that I keep on updating you with my next video. Check the playlist for all these descriptive paragraphs, chapters and poems onto your syllabus. That is the syllabus of 9th class. And important solved questions you will get there. And there are also self-evaluation tests for your exam preparation. So hope you will find the video helpful. Bye for now. Until we meet next time. Happy preparation.